Hi, I want to share a video that I just watched earlier today. Her name is Vicky Mei. She is on YouTube and she's a software engineer from the NYC. And she shared some very simple things and that I would just like that I felt like resonated with me. And I'm just going to add a little bit of my commentary too. And I'm not going to share much of the video here. I'm just going to probably play a little bit of what she said, just to give you a little primer, a little taste. But I do recommend to watch her video, her illustrations in there that she used and different things like that. So one of the things she said, and this here method that she talks about that she's sharing in this video, it helped her to learn effectively and more efficiently online. I think Udemy is probably where she learned a lot of her stuff from. I'm not sure. I probably shouldn't speak much about her. This is my first video of hers. I've never seen any of her content, but she did talk about she's really promoting hands-on experience, similar to like how you rode a bike, learn how to ride a bike and how to swim. You're actually going to be doing it. You're going to actually get hands-on and actually practice it to be very, 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 very good at it. And I have a little bit of programming, only went from my degree program, right? But I never used it. So I am, if I would add one thing to this list of hers is if you do not use it, you will lose it. Okay. Um, so there's three things here. The first one is she says to start small. And the start small, I don't even know where it is on here, but yeah, start small. So I'm not going to give her video justice, guys. I'm just recalling what I heard on the video. And, but I'm doing this to remind myself that I need to start small, even when I'm learning Scrum, learning Jira, I need to start small, which is the opposite of what I did for my first Jira project. And I am currently contemplating how much I'm going to share about that experience. I'm really going to think about that. And so another thing that she mentioned with starting small that that actually goes with this. Starting small goes along with this. Well, first of all, let me mention this. She talks about it being you can overwhelm yourself, right? Watching so many things and it just way over your head, and it can be very overwhelming. Let me share this what she mentioned about willpower. Okay. And this is one of the reasons why you want to start small.
Head. Learning requires willpower, and any type of willpower is like battery. It's gonna run out. It needs to charge every day. Same as learning anything in life. You need to get that motivation and you need to be consistent. And in order to be consistent, you need that willpower. And it's gonna burn out if you don't charge. This is why you have
Yeah, this is why you have to start small. Now, I did speed her up here 1.25. Um, yeah, I did. Okay. So she's really advocating for why you want to start small. Okay. Here she talked about coding for 10 minutes a day. And yeah, this is where you kind of just this is keeping that practice up, right? Keeping because if you don't use it, you will lose it. Okay. One code, one variable, and building upon that. And she does mention more about this and later on in the video. Later on in the video here. Um so the second one is here it is. She says repetition isn't always work. And I don't I I think she was saying that repetition doesn't always work, but let me see, repetition isn't always work. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. She's meant that it doesn't always work. So practice makes perfect. A lot of people say that, which it does, but a different kind of practice. You have to have the foundation has to be there. Okay? Learn to play the piano, the scales or whatever. You have to learn. You have to keep the good posture. So yeah, it that whole practice makes perfect at will over time. Now not necessarily. Um, and part of that is you're going to learn, and if you want to grow and expand your knowledge, you're going to have to make mistakes. And he does get into that as well too, not making mistakes, but needing to learn to problem solve. You really do because you by nature you're going to make mistakes. We're human. We will make mistakes. So in her repetition that doesn't work, she has what um I think it's like a mastery, her mastery cycle that she mentions. Okay. Um yeah. Uh-oh, yikes. I did a full screen here. Okay. So yeah, so here she just reiterating what I just finished saying about the wrong habit. Yeah, y'all don't, I'm with her on not practicing the wrong habit, but there's still hope for those people that practice wrong, right? There's hope for them. And that is where you're going to, in a sense, take it piece by piece, make one tweak, get it fixed and tweaked. And that this is probably also would go in line with her number two, with her mastery once if we can get there. And I think we're almost there. Yeah, we are there. We're getting there after this. So her mastery cycle that she learned, um, try and apply, review and reflect, improve and evaluate. I'm gonna let her explain all of those. Okay, I did it again. I'm gonna let her explain all explain all of those. Only comment I will make about this is very similar to um I'm gonna give an example of what happened to me. I One of the companies I worked at, I was a mm, our group had a application that we supported, and we had a developer on staff, right? A software engineer guy on staff. He was a programmer, and it was his program, and he was looking to. It was in maintenance mode because we were getting ready to move to another software package and not use that system anymore. We were going to eventually phase it out, but it was still being used, so they needed somebody to maintain and deal with any issues. Uh, and I was a chosen one. Okay, I was a chosen one. And so I would try to fix something, and he would tell me, and I would get way in over my head. And it's this whole thing not starting small. He told me that Eunice, you need to start, get one thing to work, and once you get that to work, then expand out and get those things to work, and then expand out and get that to work together. Okay, get one thing to work at a time, so then you'll know when you're debugging where you went wrong, because you know that part worked. That part, when you put the second layer on there, if it doesn't work, then you know it's because of what you just added. Okay, because I was hunting and he had to help me out, and I would go to him a lot because of that. So here you try and apply, right? The first thing, does it work? Then you're going to review and reflect that, and that's kind of like the testing part, right? And then you want to improve it. And one thing that was very helpful for me is have to have a use case. I just can't just be doing something to be doing something. And so that was an interesting thing. And I do have two. I don't know if I want to create a math program or not. And maybe I should. No, I probably won't. But I do seriously want to create a an application that will keep track of my school records, because I look I've looked out there for software. I don't really like any of it. The free stuff, the buy stuff, none of it. So I want something kind of tailored toward, my ideas or whatever that I feel will fit my homeschool. So I need to figure that piece out. Now, the third layer that she said, um, let's see here, is the stop watching and code it out. So I think she's already kind of hinted with that with this second part. Watch a video, and then you need to kind of code it out. And before you can, because this is, and you're probably going to mess up, right? This is now I'm getting to the problem solving piece here. You may want to go back Because if it's not working or if there are issues, it's probably because you have you got some knowledge gaps. Okay, you got knowledge gaps for sure. So go back and watch some of those videos where you were learning that from, and see if you can fill in those knowledge gaps. Okay. Um, let's see here. Let's get there. I'm assuming it's where I need to be. Okay, yeah, stop watching and code it out. Okay, she says, and totally agree on that as well. And and let's get into the problem solving piece too, because with her problem solving, she talked about um she used what did she use? She used going to the gym, like kind of like starting where you are type of thing. I'm probably misrepresenting this big time, okay? So she goes to the gym. She wasn't, she had to start where she was, right? And, pumping iron or whatever, where she could lift up and then over where she could lift. And then over time she got stronger and stronger and everything. Being consistent, keep working at it, right? I don't think that has anything to do with do with problem solving, but she did talk about the method where she used for problem solving. And I think it's somewhere here. Let's see if I can get there. Oh yeah, this here part she talked about, go back to the source. This is when you do have problems, you find problems, watch the video again and try to fill out where your knowledge gaps are. Yeah, so I thought that was pretty helpful. And let's see here, where are we? Hmm. Maybe it's here. Yeah. So she talked about data structures and algorithms. This is what she used to help her build her problem solving skills. And basically she was mentioning not just in coding you want to learn how to problem solve. In every area of your life you want to learn how to problem solve. Okay? And one of the things that does that for sure is just living life. You will come across some problems. You will have to figure out some solutions. Okay? So just living life will get you there for sure. And I think that was it on here. She did mention, she said you don't have to use data structures and algorithms. To be honest with you, I do know what data structures are and algorithms, but I have no idea in what context she's even talking about here. But I'm gonna give an example of when I was in the military, when we were learning our skills, baked into our learning was actually debugging, fixing problems. So they would go in a lab, and this is for both of my MOSs. They would go in a lab and they would break something in there. They would screw something up, unplug a cable or whatever. They're going there and just sabotage the room. And then you would have to go in there. They give you a couple of minutes, I don't know, 3 to 5 minutes. I can't even remember the time. You have to go in there and solve the problem. You had to have enough information, enough knowledge about how it worked so you can actually solve the problem. So I thought that was always my favorite part. And I always basically I would get in there pretty fast. I was really good at troubleshooting. I was really good at troubleshooting and solving those kind of problems. So I totally enjoyed that part. My favorite part. And yeah, so I'm kind of geared toward that part. So kudos to Miss Vicky Mei. I enjoyed the software engineer from the NYC. Like I said, I don't this is my first video of hers. I've never watched any of her videos before. But yeah, I thought it was worth sharing just from a general standpoint of how learning hands-on by far I think is a really good thing, and taking it real small and taking it slow. Matter of fact, my kids, they are Spanish, this Spanish book that I bought, and we're gonna see how that goes because it's sort of like that, starting small, one concept, getting it down pat before you move on to the next lesson. And yeah, so we kudos to her. Thanks, Vicky, for your content. I may try to check out some more of your videos, but you know, thank you so much and See you later. Bye, everyone.